Hi, we are Rob and Kathy, and welcome to our channel. Join us for our travels in Australia and beyond. Good morning, viewer. Welcome to Alice Springs. We're at the Hilton, where we arrived sort of late-ish yesterday afternoon. Very tired after a very big day, so there wasn't much to tell. We had dinner and crashed. Today we've got another big day. Lots of transport and travelling. We've got trip to Uluru from Alice Springs. A lot of people think that Uluru or Ayers Rock is right next to Alice Springs, but it isn't. It's actually nearly 400 kilometres away. So we'll be spending all morning on a coach driving to the Sales Resort at Alice Springs, doing a lap of Uluru, and then settling in before some evening activities, which we'll tell you all about when they happen. So I'll see you on the drive out to Uluru. And then we were back on the bus and heading off into the outback. After 2 hours on the road, we've stopped for morning tea. Roadhouse petrol station. Bit of a motel, and somewhere to get a cup of coffee and a piece of cake, which we did. We turned onto the Lassiter Highway and headed for Uluru. We stopped for lunch at Peterman, where we could look at Mount Connor, or as the Aborigines call it, Attila. It's also known as Foolaroo, as many people think it is Uluru. Across the road from lunch is a sandhill. It's nice to stretch the legs. There's been a lot of sitting over the last couple of days. And here's another look at Attila, or Mount Connor. Then we trudged back down the sandhill and resumed our journey. And then we had our first tantalising glimpse of Uluru. With our eyes fixed on the horizon, Uluru gradually got closer and closer. Looming larger and larger, you began to get an appreciation for its size. Today we drove close to the rock and were able to see details of caves and erosion. Tomorrow is our chance to get up close and personal. After our drive around the rock, we headed to the Sales Resort, check-in and a well-earned rest. And we have arrived at Sails in the Desert Resort, and we're here for 2 glorious nights. Here's our room, 257. Let's see if we can have a look inside. And there's Cook already in. In we come. Let's have a look around. In here, we've got a safe, which is always handy. Ironing and things like that can be done. Across from that is a bathroom, which looks very nice. There's your shower. Coming through, we've got a choice of, there's our tea and coffee making facilities, fridge, and a choice of 2 beds. How good is that? Telly. Dining table, a nice comfy chair, and then coming right through, out onto a very nice balcony. And this is part of the grounds. There's a swimming pool, there's all sorts. Very nice. I think we'll be very happy here for 2 nights. Well, it's 5:30 in the evening now, and we're meeting down in the foyer for the Sounds of Silence dinner out under the stars, which promises to be very nice. I think there are some Aboriginal displays on as well, so we'll film what we can, and you can enjoy it all as well. With Uluru in the distance, we had appetizers and drinks, and it was a good opportunity to get to know our fellow travellers. Sunset next to the Olgas. Then we walked down to our tables, were seated under somewhat threatening skies. Darkness descended and we enjoyed a very nice meal. Unfortunately, it started to rain and the rest of the evening was cut short. Good morning, viewer, and it's our first morning at the Sails Resort at Uluru, which is the big hotel resort complex near Uluru. Yesterday, very good day, saw very close-up images of Uluru, Ayers Rock, and had a lovely dinner out under the stars. Well, it would have been under the stars, except it was very cloudy, and actually the whole thing was cut a little bit short because it rained, but not to worry, still a very nice experience. Today, we're off to the Olgas and another visit, and close-up visit to Uluru. Catch more about it later. The day started with breakfast. As with all our meals, it was excellent. Then we were back on the bus and heading toward the Olgas, or Katajuta. Soon we had our first glimpse. Upon closer inspection, you're impressed with the size of these mountains. Our first activity for the day was a walk to Walpa Gorge. It was windy, rocky, but very picturesque. Walpa Gorge itself is a natural creek that carves its way between the two tallest domes of Catajuta. The path follows a 2.6 kilometre return route. Walpa means windy in the Pitjantjatjara language, and it didn't disappoint. The water here is not permanent and depends on rainfall. Unlike Uluru, which is sandstone, Catajuta is made of conglomerate rock. Then of course we were back on the bus. Then we had lunch with an amazing view. After a look around the cultural centre, where unfortunately we couldn't take any pictures, we proceeded for a close inspection of Uluru. Our first port of call was this cave. Here, the male tribe members would educate the young boys in the traditions of their life. As you walk around the rock, you will notice a series of grey marks. These are water courses. When it rains, the water makes its way down for weeks afterwards. We were lucky as there'd been recent rains on the rock and these rivulets were flowing. They create streams at the base of the rock which open up into beautiful natural pools. As you can see, there is more than one way to get around the rock. Kathy took this opportunity to touch the rock at an appropriate place. It was a real sense of connection she'd been waiting years to feel. Next we headed towards a series of caves that had been eroded at the base of the rock. These are very interesting for a number of reasons. They contain many stories from Aboriginal Dreamtime. Our guides, Karen and Ross from Outback Spirit Tours, captivated us with their excellent knowledge of these stories. It was great to hear. The science was also interesting. The colour inside the cave is actually the colour of the rock. The red comes from iron-rich sand blown in from Western Australia, and it oxidises. Uluru is literally rusty. Here you can see excellent examples of Aboriginal cave drawings dating back thousands of years. Uluru is constantly being eroded, creating these smooth-lined caves and gullies. It truly is a most beautiful place. This is the area where you could climb the rock. Two things stopped this practice. When Uluru was handed back to the traditional owners, it was deemed inappropriate. And secondly, the death toll. 37 people died attempting the climb. Uluru Climb closed permanently on October 26, 2019. We only ever see one side of Uluru. You're not allowed to take pictures of the other side, as it is sacred to the traditional owners. You're still welcome to circumnavigate Uluru, as this map shows. It's a walk of around 10 kilometres, and in the warmer months, start early. That's about it for today. Adverse weather cancelled our evening visit to the Field of Lights art installation. However, our delicious meal and good company at Sails Resort made up for it. If you enjoyed this video, you could press the like button. You might even consider subscribing to the channel. In our next episode, we take on 200 kilometres of dirt road, arrive at Kings Canyon, enjoy a helicopter flight, and much more.